You going to explain your accomplishments in Minnesota, or that's for a different chat?
Haven't made any headway yet.
Well, what have you done, you think? What haven't done, you think?
Well, the lady I'm helping out has got 5 kids. She's a widow, and the 2 sister-in-laws think that they should be raising the kids, and so they put in a motion to the court to take the away. And she's learning everything as fast as she can, and just a lot of started wrong with some paperwork that was put in that I was trying to help her out with, and somebody messed with that. So she tried to put in a police report, about theft of property, and what happened is the police wouldn't take it. They kept converting it over to family and children and other things, and they wouldn't take a property for a simple wrongful possession. So,
right.
So we wrote up a notice and had the notice served on the judge as a mandated reporter on the case.
But the big thing, as I was saying, though, too, is if you were trying to put in a police report and you're saying a police officer, like at the desk, wouldn't take your report?
They wouldn't take her report of theft of property or wrongful possession.
Were you there when they wouldn't
do
it? Okay, no, see, you have no fucking clue that they wouldn't do it.
Well, when I saw the report that they did take.
It's what I'm saying is you don't know what she was reporting to them.
I've got a pretty good idea. I've been working with her for 3 months, and she's pretty straight.
And I guarantee, like I said, let me tell you, I have no vested interest in this woman.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you, if I was a little bird on her shoulder, I guarantee when they asked us, you don't want to make a claim for property, say, well, that's a family issue, this is this, this is this. I guarantee she did not come with a snappy retort that's like, well, thank you for your legal opinion. Thank you for what you believe to be what I'm saying. But do you have a legal department here? And may I talk to somebody in legal? And maybe they might be more confident in what I'm trying to report. I guarantee she did not say that.
Yeah, actually she did.
And she said she wants to talk to the legal department.
She went and talked to the legal department, and they wouldn't talk to her, so she set up an appointment for 2 hours later. And when it was time for the appointment, they wouldn't follow through. They didn't want to talk to her.
When you don't get through to the legal department, then what's your next course of action?
You go to the city manager.
And did she go to the city manager?
She was trying to find out who that was.
Okay, it takes me about 10 seconds to find the city manager. I'm going to call the court clerk, and I'm going to call the county clerk, and I'm going to say, who's the city manager?
There's no city manager. There was a
okay,
town.
Then she lives in the county. Then she's got a county she lives in, right? She doesn't live in a parish. She lives in a county, right?
Yep, she lives in a county.
Then she went down and found the county commissioner.
I haven't checked here. I was going to look up the county prosecutor tonight.
No, I didn't say county prosecutor. I said the county commissioner, the count who runs the county.
Yeah, I'm going to. Okay. It's a good idea.
Right.
I'll check into that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you don't get here, you go A, you go B, you go C, you go D, you go to the top. You went through the whole, you went through all the ranking. You said, look, to the count, the man that's in charge of the county. You said to the man, hey, look, I went to the county sheriff's department. I went to file this. They would not take this report. How are you training these? How are you disciplining? How are you monitoring these people who supposedly run this county that, operates underneath your jurisdiction and your control? How are you doing this? Or how are you not doing this is a better question.
Okay.
Because I don't know if she went to the sheriff's department. I don't know if she went to a town cop. I don't know if she went to a city cop.
What she did is she wrote up a notice of wrongful possession, and she had it served on the judge, on the man who's acting as
the judge. When you're filing a report that somebody's done something wrong, did she go to the city? Did she go to the town?
She's got a police report. She got a police report
through the sheriff's department?
The police report was through the police department, and it talks about family and children.
It's very simple. She went to the police department, okay? Where were the children taken? In the city? Under that police jurisdiction and control?
Yes.
Okay, so her relatives came to that city and took them?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so what city does she live in?
She's in Hibbing, Minnesota.
And those kids became in possession of her sisters how?
two of the other kids had gone out for 2 weeks, and then they came back home, and she swapped the two older kids. And they met at the hotel. They hung out. Everybody went swimming that day, and then the in-laws left with the older two kids.
And those older two kids are the ones who are not in her custody?
That's correct.
So her sister stole them at the pool or stole them at the hotel?
The mother and father-in-law took them from the hotel.
Okay. So how did the sisters get them?
Don't know. Somehow the sisters got a hold of the kids, took them to some church someplace, and had the pastor or the minister or somebody ask them a bunch of questions, and then they filed a petition based on the information that these people had gathered.
So where these children are now, that's where she filed the police report?
No, the police report was filed here.
Okay. And like I said to people, if my car is stolen in New Orleans, it is okay for me to come down here locally and say, look, I'd like to put in a report that my car was stolen. And my car was stolen here, I believe, in this county. But I believe I found the location for it is in New Orleans. But I'm going to come here and just put a report in that it was stolen here, 2 days ago. But somebody told me it's in New Orleans, so I'm also going to put in a report down there in New Orleans because I got a tracking device in my car that I know where my car is, and then I want it back. Like I said, the police up here say, well, that's fine. That's good. That's good that you put it in that you know that it's in New Orleans. Because honestly, if you're telling us now it's in New Orleans, there's not a fucking thing we can do about it. Because we don't have the manpower, the jurisdiction, or the authority to go down to New Orleans and go get your shit for you. So just because they take a police report there, if they took it or didn't take it there, where she lives, because it's easy and convenient for her to do it that way, to just make it nice and simple so she doesn't have to take a trip to New Orleans and say that my kids are in New Orleans and I want them back. That's what you do.
Yeah, the kids are currently in Wisconsin, and one was with one sister and the other with the other sister in two different counties. And the notice of wrongful possession, which was served on the man, Bob, the mandated reporter who's handling the case, that notice was served on him, and a copy of that notice was given to the local sheriff here and was sent to the sheriff in Wisconsin for each county. So they should have gotten those this weekend.
Okay, that's good. So they should have got it this weekend. That's lovely.
Yep.
Okay. And did she explain that if that she's that's where her property lies and she wishes the assistance of that sheriff's department for its immediate and proper return?
Yes, she did.
And that's what it says.
It says, I require the return of my property to my domestic authority.
Yeah. Did you ask them for them directly to help you?
Yes,
or did you say, I want the property? Or say, I require the sheriff's department to perform their duty and function and restore my property forthwith?
Well, let me pull it up.
Did you tell the sheriff's department that actually they have to get their ass in gear?
I'm pretty sure I covered it pretty much just like that. Let me take a look. It says, Dear John, greetings. I, a woman, write to you, the man I believe sometimes acts as chief law enforcer for the county of Brown, to let you know I require your assistance in a matter of wrongful possession of property, the details of which are laid out in the enclosed notice, as well as another notice, which was served upon Mark Starr. Mark is the mandated reporter who's acting as judge. I require said property forthwith returned to my domestic authority. Thank you for your immediate attention to this matter.
Yeah. You don't have to say domestic authority. Say I require the immediate return of my property into my, into you could say, you use a legal word if you wanted to. You could say custody, but like I said, you could have just said, I wish for the immediate return of my property.
Yeah.
What was the word that you used?
I require said property forthwith returned to my domestic authority.
Yeah, domestic authority. That's a sketchy word to use. That's really legalese.
Well,
to be placed back into my domestic authority. Like I said, you could say, but then you could say, well, that's some sort of legal doctrine that she's relying upon, sort of domestic authority doctrine.
Yeah.
So I just try to avoid any kind of legal doctrines. I try to just talk like a man would talk. Like Tarzan would talk. How would Tarzan talk? Would Tarzan say, domestic authority? It's like Tarzan want property back, Tarzan want property now. Like how would Tarzan talk? What would Tarzan say? If I was Tarzan, what would I do?
Yeah.
Would you say domestic authority? No. Would you just make it super simple? Yeah, I want my property, I want it now. Are you going to aid and assist me? I require you to aid and assist me in the restore, to return my property? No. Something simple like that. Don't, the more I say domestic, of course they can say, like what is the definition of is? They can say, what is the definition of domestic authority in your belief? What do you believe domestic authority means? She just makes it too freaking complicated. Say, what part of give me back my shit don't you understand? Are you going to help me get back my shit or not? What part of that didn't you understand?
Yeah, it's
pretty when you guys use flowery terms that make people like, oh, look, I got a big IQ. Oh, look, I got a Roger. I can recite fucking, I could use synonyms. Look how smart I am. It just leads to your own peril because then it's led up to interpretation. Now, what do you mean by domestic authority? Like, okay, then you got to start. You think that she's going to be able to stand up in court and tell the judge, what does the domestic authority mean?
I'm pretty sure she's capable of doing that, yeah.
Could, but whatever he does it on the fly, on the seat of his pants, and she's not ready for it. You're using words that you might not know exactly what they mean. Like when the judge did that to me, he says, okay, explain a trust. I explained it to him. He says, okay, give me another interpretation of what a trust is. Okay, now give me a third definition, a third interpretation of trust. It's like if I say to you, tell me what blue means. You say, well, blue, like the color, blue. No, that's not a fucking definition. Using blue to define blue is not a definition of blue. You can say it's a certain wavelength and frequency that the visual, optic nerve could actually, absorb, and that we, it's a reflection. It's something that wasn't absorbed. Like I said, you have to explain what blue is.
Yeah.
So blue, like the fucking color, like domestic authority. Like it's my house and it's under my control. It's like, okay, now give me another example, like the judge did to me in England. Could you imagine if I only knew one definition for public trust or private trust? Can you imagine if I only knew one way to explain it? The judge said, give me another one. He says, okay, I like that. Now give me another example of a public trust and a private trust. I said, okay, let's talk about your, Social Security numbers. Let's talk about this. So he said, okay, I like that. That's fine. Give me another interpretation of what a trust is. Explain it to me in another way. So I've explained it in 3 different ways. So if you guys are just mastering one thing, one way, and then you want to use these words, they're going to test you. They're going to try you to see if you really, thoroughly understand that word or that phrase or that term that you're using. You better not just give them one. You better have 2, 3 under your belt.
Thank God it wasn't that.
What if I only had 2 definitions or 2 ways to explain a private or public trust to this judge? He asked me for 3. He could have asked me for 4. And I would have said, okay, let me put it this way, sir. And he said, okay, well, give me another one. Okay, well, let me put it this way, sir.
And what would
until he's comfortable and confident that I really do know what the fuck I'm putting in front of that court. Yeah. Is this guy just bullshitting us, or does he really fucking know his crap? And the judge had to say, you know what? Fine. Good enough. Thank God. Like I said, they're going to try you, and they're going to see if you know your shit, or if you're just full of crap.
So what's the local sheriff here, and the 2 sheriffs in the 2 counties where the kids are at right now have been notified. She's going to be following tomorrow, and so she should also follow up with the city manager. I think they have a town administrator over here. That's the closest she could find. So she's got that guy's name, and then the county commissioner.
You just say she basically just wants to make a report, and that whether you follow up with it or not is irrelevant. If I want to make a report that I saw space aliens, and just file a report. Whether it's true or not, that's not up to you to determine. You just take the report. I pay my taxes, I do whatever, I'm a citizen, Just take the damn report. Do your fucking job. If I want to say I've fucking seen 16,812 space aliens dancing on the forehead of an elephant, while I was balancing my fucking left foot on a needle, just take the damn report.
So once the report's done, what's the next one?
Then you just go get the kid back.
Okay.
Because you told the world. That's my kid, I'm going to get it. That's my kid, and I want it back. Go get it back.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, go get it. And then when I say, why did you take the kid? It's like, what do you mean, why did I go get the kid? Didn't you get the memo?
Well, it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow.
Yeah, just go get the kid. It's that simple. What's the worst they could do if you go get the kid? What's the worst they could do?
No,
What's that?
Worst they can do is say no.
Who say no?
The sheriff or the deputies, the
No,
cops.
she's got to find where her property lies. She's got to pick it up and take it home. And what?
Well, chances are, when she gets there, the sister-in-laws are going to call the cops.
Well, why would she be knocking on the door?
Well, where would she find the property otherwise?
Where are the kids? Are they chained into the cellar of the lady's house somewhere?
Well, they're staying in Wisconsin.
Okay, so she goes to Wisconsin. She knows where they are. She goes in the house, goes get the kids, and fucking leaves. Say, come on, kids, you go with me.